Hello. Oh wow, there's 2 people watching already? I was like, I don't know if anyone's gonna be here, but I thought I would go live anyway. I wanted to ask some questions and see if you guys had any questions to ask me as well. Is this working? Okay, someone liked it, so it has to be working. Is anyone there? Hello? Maisie's World! Yay! People are here! Hello! So, I'm live. Hello! Hello. I'm live and I'm in a motivational mood. I've just been channeling some Mintakan light language. Oh, hello everyone. So I'm feeling really good. And I thought I'd just come and say hello because I've been, haven't said hello for a while. There's so much that's new, and I really want to hear from you guys. Like, how have you been going? Hello. How's everyone been? If you have any questions, I'm really interested in if anyone's been working with affirmations after my video about affirmations, and if it's been changing anyone else's life, as it has been for me. Hello. Oh, the sun's come out. Oh, nice. I don't know, usually people say more things. I'm like, should I be saying something? I don't know. All right, well, I was gonna kind of like see what people wanted to talk about, but seeing as no one's saying anything, I'll have to go. My friend got me this deck of oracle cards. It's called How to Love Yourself cards, and they're Louise Hay, and they're really, really cute. They have little affirmations on them, which is, if anyone here works with affirmations, then you know. Never used affirmations, not much anyway. Fair enough. I think for me, sound is really important, and affirmations, when we speak aloud, it like impacts our cells. I really believe that. So I think they're really powerful. I'm going to pull one of these cards for everyone. Hey, Georgetta. Nice to see ya. I'm just shuffling. And I'm going to pull one of these How to Love Yourself cards my friend got me. And we'll see what it says. Might be synchronistic for you. I am precious and I cherish who I am. That is so cute. Ooh, ASMR said, oh, hi, Tina. I have been using affirmations in my own voice for a while. I've included the term now. It hasn't been over a week. I do love them. Now is really powerful to add to it. I really believe that. So not only am I precious and I cherish who I am precious and I cherish who I am now, right now, in this moment. Bring it in. Bring that experience down. Pull it into yourself. And then it has a little affirmation on the back as well. I am worthy of my own love now. I don't have to earn love any more than I have to earn the right to breathe now. Nice. I love this. Yeah. Stuart says, the best one I used was, I choose to be myself. I choose to trust myself. I choose myself. That's powerful. That's cool. Very powerful. So I'm working on like a really special project right now that's really close to my heart in terms of like lessons that I've learned and just things that I feel like are important. Wow, very articulate. But I wanted to ask everyone, and this is kind of a little sneaky reason why I went there. I wanted to ask everyone, do you feel like drained by people? Do you feel drained by life? Do you feel drained by people? Do you feel drained by crowds? Do you feel drained by your family? Do you feel drained by a certain friendship, a certain friend group? Do you feel drained by a certain teacher? Or, I don't know, what's your experience of energy and draining of energy? I've just got yes and yes. Hello, Sparking Laughter. We are talking about affirmations, but I really want to talk about draining energy. Yes, humans. High priestess. Oh my god, that's so cute. Humans, right? I don't know what they're on about. No, but yes. Okay, I am worthy. Yes, I love these affirmations. I was also thinking we could write some affirmations together, like we could come up with some for ourselves. But I really want to talk about, I'm so glad you're here. Also, I'm going to pull more of these How to Love Yourself cards which have affirmations on them. And the first one we got was, I am precious and I cherish who I am now. Oh, hey, Danny. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Okay, I feel drained when I get angry. This is good. Everyone keep talking. I feel drained when I get angry. Just some creepy girl says, I get drained when I'm around crowds of people. Yes, right? Exactly. Crowds. The energy can be drained when the frequency lowers. That's my perspective. Cool. I'm just opening a discussion about this right now. I want to get some info from people. Stuart says, always. 3D world and its levels of ego has always been draining. Yeah, this has been my training ground. Yes, exactly. Irene, can I ask you a question about a meditation I had? Yeah, probably, if it's relevant for everyone. I want to talk about energy draining because it's an experience that I've explored from a lot of different angles now. And it's something that I really dedicated this year to learning about because I was so sick and tired of being oh, life drains my energy. Because I recognized that actually that's not really true. That was just a story I was telling myself. And what it meant when I could actually sort of start to take a little bit of responsibility for the fact that this is my earthly experience and I'm here creating it, was that I recognized that I have to learn a little bit more about how energy dynamics work between people and how energy dynamics work on Earth in general. And basically, I have a lot of lessons that I've learned, really. Yeah, sparkling laughter, being drained is a choice. Exactly, honey. This is it. Choosing to match to a lower vibration, we are always in charge. Yeah, it's like that, choosing to match to a lower vibration. I think that there's some complexities to it, but I do agree. It is a choice. It is a choice. Absolutely. And I've cut people out from High Priestess. Yeah. Eventually, I think that when push comes to shove, you have to eliminate the relationships in your life that drain you. But if you can't eliminate them, right? So maybe it's family or it's a teacher at school or someone in your class, you can't get away from them. Then there are still ways we can manage this. And part of it is by recognizing that it is a choice. And that can be challenging because we make choices that are so subconscious, and a lot of the time we don't even recognize the thoughts that we're thinking, right? But our thoughts are a choice. Every thought we think is a choice. So I feel part of the reason that we allow ourselves to be drained by certain people, there's a lot in this, but is because of the sort of thoughts that we think when we're around that person. And especially if it's someone that triggers you, like a family member, then that's kind of a direct loop that you're always going into. But what I think is the key to getting yourself out of this is less of being oh, this is a choice and I just have to stop choosing this. It's why do you choose it in the first place? How is it serving you to be drained by somebody? Because we're only creating something because in some way it's serving us. It might be serving a part of us that we don't really like or that we don't really want, but it's still serving us in some way, and it's that self-inquiry that can really make a difference, I believe, in our experience of the world, truly. So it's what I recognized about my own patterning was going about the world and feeling drained by the world. It's another form of identifying as being a victim. And it's super subconscious. And, victimhood is super real in some ways, but it's also super an illusion in a lot of ways. And we have to recognize why we identify with being a victim to our own life and what it serves in us. So maybe it serves you by you feel you give yourself more love if you feel victimized by the world. Maybe that's the only way you can literally bring out love from your own self, is if you tell yourself a story of that you're a victim, this person drains you and it's not fair and always happens, and why has this happened to me? then we may want to inquire what we would have to believe to make that choice seem like an appropriate choice. Exactly. Sparkling laughter. Exactly. How is it serving us to choose to be drained? Now, one other thing that I've like nutted out for myself that's really changed my life is like, yes, actually, Georgetta, it makes me realize always that I have to return to myself and that I live to please and serve others. Yes, and this is the other reason why we allow our energy to be drained, okay? Because it's a form of codependency. So if we have a lot of vital life force energy like flowing through us all the time, and then we are interacting with people who we feel like harvest that energy or take from our energy, then in a way, it's a form of codependency. Now, you might be like, well, why am I dependent on that person if they're the one taking my energy? Aren't they dependent on me? Yes, but you need them to need you. You need them to need you because it's how you feel loved. Feeling needed can be like a messed up way of feeling love. And so this is another way that we like stay in situations that really don't serve us because we're always drained by them, right? But it's actually because we're codependent. So it's like we might, know that there's this best friend, and every time they call, we feel like really drained, and we never really want to ask them for, but we don't want them to stop calling, right? Like if we really look deep down, until we get honest, right? It can transform when we can see the illusion for what it is of like, oh, being needed is not being loved. Like, I don't want that. Then we can make different choices. But a lot of this sort of like, and I really don't say this to offend anyone, but I think a lot of the time when we're identifying as victim, we're creating illusion in our life. We're creating an illusion that we're not powerful, or that we can't do this, or that we haven't chosen this. And so sometimes we have to kind of like find another way of getting into the reason why we made that choice, because a lot of you guys are already saying in the chats when I was like, does anyone here feel drained? Everyone's like, yeah, but being drained is a choice, right? It's like, yes. But sometimes it's not helpful to just see that and be like, oh, this is a choice. We have to be like, why am I choosing this? And like what someone here, Sparkling Laughter, says, yeah, you already said, then we may want to inquire what we would have to believe to make that choice seem like an appropriate choice. Exactly. What would we have to believe about ourselves, about our worthiness, about other people's ability to generate their own life force energy for themselves, right? In order for us to make a choice in which we're continually drained. Okay, I'm going to read the chat. High Priestess says, just got to get over thinking about what's best for them over time and keep ourselves in mind. They don't. Light and dark, just got to say no. People will be hurt, but they will get over it. Yes, exactly how Grief says. It's like a really good test if you're feeling drained in a relationship with, I guess it's harder if it's a romantic relationship, and a lot of starseeds attract like souls that don't have their own connection to God, so they kind of like harvest our energy. But like if you're just in a friendship with someone, if you pull all of your energy back to yourself and you kind of like cut them off from your supply, like you can still engage with them and whatever, but if you really kind of like cut them off from your supply, then if they are truly like not someone for you, they'll disappear from your life because they're only there for your energy. And if they can't take your energy, then they're not really interested in you. And this is important to know, it is. Oh, hey, Jason. Beliefs generate emotions. So Sparkling Laughter says, beliefs generate emotions, emotions form thoughts, then comes action. We always behave in the way that seems the most beneficial. We always move towards what we believe serves us best. That's very true. But a lot of the time, we also have beliefs that really don't serve us at all. And we're completely subconscious of what those beliefs actually are. Like, I'm sure we all know examples of that. Georgetta, feeling drained is always followed by waking up to yourself, to who I really am, like a series of waking ups. That's beautiful. High Priestess, sometimes people need you, but not from a codependent, just because how it is. Perception, I guess. Yeah, I'm more talking about if you're like, why am I perpetually in situations, relationships, dynamics where I feel drained? It's like you're the common denominator there. Do you know what I mean? What if we have no control over what's draining us? Well, it's your energy that's being drained, so you do have control because it's your energy. And even though there are dynamics in which, consent is not respected energetically, of course, this is something that happens. But a lot of the time, we actually still are giving our consent in terms of these things. And a lot of the time, consent happens actually just through compassion, through us extending heart space to somebody. We can open up them to feed on our energy, and we might not realize that. Which is a little bit like, High Priestess says, sometimes people need you, but not from codependent. I don't think you're talking about energy supply there, though. Oh, thanks, Jason. But yeah. Link. Right. If you claim you have no control, you're creating the effect of having no control. Well, that's also true. Everything is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. But it's also like you have to know that it's your energy. You have to know that. That's like saying I don't know what that's like saying. That's like saying I have no control over whether my car has petrol in it or not. It's like, well, you kind of do though. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Irene says, I tried, but it doesn't really fit this conversation. Maybe I email you. Oh, right, yeah, you asked something before. I went somewhere, it felt like a starseed home from trillion billion years ago, like the origin of pure light. Irene, if it's the origin of pure light, wow, so much light all of a sudden. If it's the origin of pure light, then it might be Mintaka, because Mintaka is light. You might want to. I just uploaded a Mintaka in light language, actually. Oh, I'm glad, High Priestess. So yeah, energy dynamics and energy draining. But the thing to understand is there is, so magnets, right? There's a positive side of a magnet and a negative side of a magnet, and they link in and they magnetize to each other and they connect, or they're connected. In the same way, souls exist. So there are souls that are oriented towards positive, and this is not a judgment of good or bad. This is simply like a magnet. It's simply kind of how that soul is made up to receive life force energy, right? So a positive soul is connected to source, and it has its own supply. You can get high on your own supply. And so most people who would be following me or tuning into this video, y'all are positive souls. Now, the thing with positive souls is that they attract a lot of negative souls. Woohoo! Except not really woohoo, because negatively oriented souls, oh, hey, Florentine. Negatively oriented souls, again, not a judgment of their soul choice. However, it simply means that they don't have anything to plug into. They've cut off their connection at their crown, they've chopped it off, or their actual soul blueprint is negative, such as a lot of people might have heard of draconian souls, okay? So really, this is vital to know, because when you are a positively oriented soul, you will likely attract a lot of negatively oriented souls to you, because it's like a magnet. And the negatively oriented souls, again, nothing wrong with their choice. We will all know them. They're often doing super well in life, really. but they get 100% of their life force energy from other people, from other people's supply. So you will know if you are in a relationship with a negatively oriented soul because over the course of that relationship, it will be unequal. You might give more than you ever receive. You might always feel energetically drained, whatever, because it's unequal. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that negative souls can take energy from other negative souls, in my belief, because energy exchange is very, very human. It's very natural. Like what everyone here is doing right now is we're exchanging energy. I'm speaking, I'm channeling, I'm getting energy out. You're replying, you're tuning in, you're sending energy back. We're exchanging energy. It's very natural. It's what humans do. It's largely like the currency of Earth, right? Is energy. We're all energy. We are energy. So that's fine. Like energy dynamics are fine, but we have to be aware of them. So oftentimes we will still be exchanging energy with each other. You know, like even if you have the strongest channel of like your source and your life force, you're still going to exchange energy with other people. It's very just human, right? We're connection based. We need each other. However, this is why starseeds, or however you like to call yourself, you know, that's why starseeds can be alone a lot, or they can live alone, or they can, you know, they're good at being alone. They might be like very introverted because you have your own connection to God, right? You have your own connection to source. You have your own supply that you're getting high on all the time. But souls that don't have that connection, they are needing other people. They are needing interaction. They are the ones sending you the text message that you're like, oh God, please stop, right? Sorry, bless everyone. But it is true that they kind of will tend to use more manipulation. I'm not saying positive souls don't manipulate, because of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. But negative souls, it's like they rely upon it. They rely upon it. So it's different. It's more extreme. The manipulation will also poke you in places that are very, very primal, I would say. The manipulation happens through the lower chakras. Okay, so it's through guilt, shame, things like that, victimization. Yeah. But the real key, and this is what I hope everyone will kind of get to a place in, or maybe already be at now, is that when we're aware of these dynamics, when we're aware of what being around a neg soul feels like, and when we're aware of our own power and our own choice of how we use our energy or how we give our energy, then we really don't have to be, we really can't be manipulated anymore. Like it just won't work. Like it just really won't work. Oh, hey, Kelsey. Ooh, that's an interesting question from A Rush. Oh, thank you. Okay, wait. So, how is your experience with astral attacks and bad dreams, etc.? Oh, honey, so much experience of it. So I'm sure like everyone has probably had sorry, I was reading chat, got distracted. Yeah, so psychic attacks in your dreams. Very real, very real. Very real. So this is partly like, ooh, I just realized I can show you guys this. Okay, this is something I made earlier, like quite a while earlier, like earlier this year. But it's the chakra system. And this is my like representation of what the human energy system looks like. Oh, hey, so no worries. I've got lots of vital life force energy flowing through me now, so I'm happy to share. Um, so basically, this is the chakra system. This is the root chakra, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown. You will notice that from the crown is all of these squiggly lines. Woohoo! Yeah? And those are all of like representative of your connection to source, vital life force energy, etc. So in that connection, right, you can see how you're just like funneling it down through your energy system and then back up and down, back up and down. It's like breath. That's how I see it. But you can start as a positive soul and over your life, like snip away at your connection to source through your choices. Okay? Now, again, choices are like based on your soul, right? So it's like, what is the right choice for my soul will not be the right choice for your soul. What is the right choice for your soul will not be the right choice for my soul. Souls are so unique. There's literally no souls that are the same. So there's no way of comparing choices. And choices is what's creating our supply of vital life force energy, I would say. It's what is creating our supply. So the more choices that we make that are in alignment with who we are at soul level, and only you know that, really, truly, the more choices we make that are in alignment with who we are, the more life force energy we have, the more abundance we see in our world. The more choices that we make that are not in alignment with who we are at soul level, the less life force we have. And the more scarcity we will see in our world, pretty much. I'm afraid to be myself and lose my partner. I want to try that for a second. Is that true? Because this is the work of Katie, of Byron Katie. We say, is that true? We make a statement, right? So like, you know, if I'm myself, I'll lose my partner. Is that true? And then you have to answer for yourself. Maybe it's a yes, maybe it's a no, I don't know. And then when we answer, we ask again. If we say, yes, it's true. We say, can you absolutely be sure that it's true? Can you absolutely be sure that it's true? And then we answer yes or no. And then if it's a no, because we can't absolutely be sure, perhaps, that if we are ourselves, we will lose our partner, then we do something where we flip it. This is the work of Byron Katie again. We flip it. How can you turn that statement around so you can see it from a different perspective? What would the opposite of that statement be true? Instead of, I'm afraid to be myself, I will lose my partner, what's the opposite of that? People say in the chats, what do you think the opposite of that is? I'm gonna say it's, I am excited to be myself because I know that will keep my partner with me. Dr. Z.S. says, always be yourself. Your partner may be the wrong partner. But what if it was, instead of I'm afraid to be myself and lose my partner, we flip it. I am empowered to be myself and keep my partner. Or my partner is afraid to be himself and lose me. Or my partner is afraid to be themselves and lose me. Because we have to look at it from different angles. I love the way you guys are flipping it. You're flipping it in a very positive way. But if we get, this is the work of Byron Katie, it's super basic. It's like, what is the opposite of that statement? Like, for example, if you're like, like my cat lied to me. Well, the opposite of that is I lied to my cat. Or the opposite of that is my cat told me the truth. Do you see? And then we really expand because we recognize the stories that we tell ourselves. And for anyone who's struggling with any kind of beliefs that they may have, the work of Byron Katie is so transformative. It really is. So again, for example, like maybe it's like my boyfriend cheated on me. Flip it around. I cheated on my boyfriend. Whoa, how is that true? And then we find how it's true. Because if something's happening, like, for example, if my thing is that my cat lied to me, is that true? Yes. Is that absolutely true? No, I can't be sure it's absolutely true. Okay, what's the opposite of my cat lied to me? Okay, the opposite of my cat lied to me is I lied to my cat. Is that true? Well, yes, I can find this reason and this reason and this reason how it's true. And so much of the time, we'll get this totally different insight into this story that we're telling. Sparkling Laughter said, is there such a thing as being disconnected fundamentally? We can create the effect of being disconnected, but to do that, we must be connected. Otherwise, we would have no experience whatsoever. No, we can definitely be disconnected, Sparkling Laughter. And I think that actually it comes through forgetting. It comes through forgetting that we are connected to God, really. And it comes through the more that we affirm to ourselves things like, I don't have a connection to God or whatever we're affirming to ourselves, it's like the more we snip away at it. Do you know what I mean? So yes, we can create a feeling of being disconnected, but actually a lot of the time you'll find that you can reconnect like that. Yeah, so you're not really disconnected. But the other thing to keep in mind is that negatively oriented souls always have a choice to reconnect to source. They always have a choice to become positive. I laugh at that because it just sounds so like a bad soul has a chance to be a good soul, but it's not really like that at all because, positively oriented souls can wreak all kinds of havoc and create all kinds of violence and destruction, right? It's not like black and white like that at all. And negative souls can also be very loving. I do believe that, they're often really charming or, yeah. You can't really tell by looking at people, I guess, is what I mean. Ooh. Florentine says, any suggestions? I have been tired my entire life. I'm fairly spiritual, but this tiredness haunts me. I'm going to pull you an affirmation card. See what your guides have to say, huh? Okay, Florentine, I completely trust the intelligence within me to guide me to the right path. The universe supports me in every positive way. And then it says, if I follow my inner wisdom, I am at peace with my own being. Wow. If I follow my inner wisdom, I am at peace with my own being now. And then the other one, I completely trust the intelligence within me to guide me to the right path now. The universe supports me in every positive way now. So, I've always been searching for ways to feel more in control and less battered by the negativity and hollowness that I feel is inherently within me. Any ideas? Wow. Anyone have any ideas? I'm going to pull you a card. Do other people have that experience of feeling battered by negativity and hollowness? Yes, says Jason. Okay. I am one with everyone on the planet. Whew. Every time I meditate or do a visualization for healing, I'm connecting with like-minded people all over the world. Well, I feel like that's what's happening right now. We're all connecting with like-minded people from all over the world. Yeah, I feel like the negativity and hollowness is, honestly, it is wisdom, because it's telling you there's an absence of love. And an absence of love is not, like, we shouldn't be content in that space. Do you know what I mean? We're love-based beings, we're love creatures. And if we don't feel love for ourselves, or we don't feel like we deserve love, and we feel empty and hollow and negative, then of course we do. You know what I mean? Yeah. And also, have you like, how often do you guys pray? Like, for real, how often do you guys pray? Because honestly, it makes me feel so, like, connected in with God. And you can pray about anything, like, literally. So be like, dear God, or dear Spirit, or to your higher self. If you prefer to pray to your higher self, I totally understand that. Yeah, so it's your exactly, it's your soul wound telling me I'm hurt. Life is not enough for me right now. I need more love. I need more nourishment. Like, listen to me, care for me, help me. It's your own body asking for your help. But this is the thing, like, when we feel so cut off from love from inside of us, that's when I think prayer can be so helpful, because we all feel cut off from love sometimes. We all do, or we all feel like maybe we're not good enough, or we're less than, or we all feel like really hard on ourselves or judgmental of ourselves sometimes. And prayer is such a fast way to cut through that. And so an example of prayer would be like, dear God, or Spirit, Divine Feminine, whoever you pray to, my higher self, I feel hollow right now. I feel like I'm full of negativity right now. Please help me to connect in with my crown, to all that I am, and to see that all of my choices that I have available to me right now. Please assist me to move out of this energy and to see the beauty in life again. Please help me to open my eyes and see what is around me in this moment and feel grateful for it. Please help me all that I have. Please help me see all that I have. Please help me see all the ways that I have been helped up until this moment, to know that that is there for me, that life is there to support me. Please help me see evidence of how life supports me every day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Irene's asking about Mintaka. Yeah, so it has been destroyed, but we live in quantum time, so it doesn't really matter. So you can tune in. So Mintaka as a place doesn't exist technically, but you can tune in to a timeline where it does exist still. Does that make sense? Because everything is in the quantum now. We're really not in linear anymore. And trying to operate through linear will absolutely cause confusion. Absolutely. Oh, I'm glad that makes sense, Irene. Oh my gosh. Love you too. Let's try to, like, read through some of these. Everyone's saying different things. It's so sweet. Any experience with numerology? Yeah, I love numerology so much. Florentine. Yeah, I know. I understand that with prayer. And trust me, like, the more you just do it, the more you start channeling it. Like, I believe. Because I think one thing that I was blocked up about prayer for a long time was that I didn't know like what I was allowed to pray about. Like that sounds so funny, but well, it's my truth. Like I would be like, oh, I'm struggling with this thing, or I'm really worried about this. But it's like I wouldn't know how to just say that, right? Just say that. Okay, I'm worried about this thing. Oh, and as soon as we speak it out loud, it's like, huh, oh, that's shifted it already. Hey. Ooh, Laura, have you ever studied if certain astrology lines up with starseed origins? Interesting, because I bought an ebook about a year ago-ish now, and it was exactly that. It was like astrological placements in the birth chart and how they align to different starseed origins. But I didn't find it was very accurate. And also, everything is determined on what framework we're using for it. And I find that a lot of the stuff with the starseed origins or like galactic history or soul realms, I've heard it called before as well. Everyone uses a different like framework, and so it's sort of like a lens that you're looking through. So I found that when I looked into the sort of like how it aligned with astrology, starseed and astrology, it just wasn't a framework that I felt like was very good, or it wasn't very like well thought out. But the thing is that we don't really need the astrology chart to do that. We can really just go into our Akashic records, or you can get an Akashic reader to go into your Akashic records and let you know your origins. So fair enough, hun, because I agree. Look, the thing with illusion is that illusion is shadow, really, And when we're in deep suffering, like, I don't think that's always an illusion, I think a lot of the time that truly like suffering is like the Buddhists say, like life is suffering, right? And I don't really think we can say that all suffering is an illusion, unless you look at it from the perspective of like when we die, we look back in our life and we're like, oh, none of that was technically real because it's all kind of like a movie that I'm watching back. Yeah. But truly, like, there is a pathway out of feeling hollow and negative and all those things. And in a way, when you get to the vantage point of feeling full of love and feeling full of positivity, you may look back at this time in your life, Soph, and be like, huh, maybe it was a bit of an illusion. But that's for you to find out. And I don't think it's always helpful, like, I think people need to be a little bit wary of just saying to someone, look, your pain is an illusion, because it's not an illusion for them right now. It's very real. Yeah. Oh, just some creepy girl. That's not random. Yeah. Sparkling Laughter says, if you wonder if you're a starseed, you probably are. And I agree. I think that actually it's like, I think it's over half of the souls on Earth are actually from the stars. And then even then, a lot of souls, like, so just for like a context, most souls that exist on Earth today are not from Earth. We don't originate from Earth. Some souls do. They're called earthen souls, and they're very nice, and I love them. But like most of us, our soul origin is not Earth. No. Is the collective consciousness ascending? Absolutely. The one way to know that is if your consciousness is ascending, then the collective is. Are you a Blu-ray? I don't know. Maybe. Oh yeah, a lot of people are starseeds for sure. Do I channel? Yes, a lot. Although that says, do you Chanel? No, but I do channel. Yeah, it's really beautiful though. Going back to our discussion with Soph about like negative feelings and all that emptiness and shit. It's like illusion is amazing when you can recognize that it's an illusion, right? And that's amazing. But it's like that is a miracle. It's a miracle when that happens, and it's like, right? And we just see things. We just cut through all of the stories. Illusion is usually a story that you're telling yourself, like, oh, I'll never be happy because this thing always happens, or, you know, I'll never be successful because of this, or I'll never be attractive because of that. And that's an illusion. That's just a story you're telling yourself. It's not even true. It's a perfume, right? As in like Chanel. I mean, it's a whole luxury brand or whatever, but yeah. It's like Neo in Matrix. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I have seen the Matrix for sure, for sure. Yeah, illusion's such an interesting thing. Illusion is all of shadow work. How do we do channeling, says Kina? Well, I personally am of the belief that channeling cannot be taught. It's sort of just like comes through you. And, you know, if you feel really drawn to channeling and you watch it all the time, then it's very likely that you have your own ability to do that. But I don't see, like, I don't think it can be taught. I think it's simply a matter of, like, okay, get yourself into a quiet room, you know, do your meditation, do some breath work, do some singing, and see what comes through you, kind of thing. Yeah. That would be my advice. And similarly, like, for those of you who know you have certain gifts of light language or maybe mediumship and stuff, sometimes we just have to give ourselves the space for it to just come through and to just recognize like that we were kind of like not allowing the space for it and that was kind of impacting us a bit. Oh my gosh, Thundercat, what a great question. Hold on, I need some water. Thundercat says, can I ask, only when you are one with divine light are you able to speak light language? Or by nature, you can speak it without connecting to the divine, since all is connected to the light. Interesting. It's actually a question that I've been like really pondering this year because I've had a few experiences of light language that I don't believe was from the light. Does that make sense? And I don't know how they channel it, like as in people who channel light language, but it's not from the light. I don't know how they do it. I really don't, and it's some kind of trickery. No, it's not. But I don't understand. It's not from the light. So not all light language is from the light, and really, really be very careful of that because if you're just opening your energy because you're like, oh, this is light language, cool, and then you're just like taking in someone's channeling and they're not connected to divine source, then that's not a good energy. That's But the thing is that and don't be afraid because I feel like you will be able to know through how you feel about it. And if you feel off about it, if it doesn't sound good to you even, like when I heard the light language that I recognized wasn't from divine source, I didn't want to hear it. I was like, no, not, like there's a repellent energy to it. Now, again, how they do that, I don't know. I think it might have something to do with energy dynamics of like using energy harvesting to generate a source. I believe that's how it's done, but I don't know. Oh my god, Soul Star Visions, are you serious? Hi! Love you. When I get light language, I feel very good. Kina, hell yeah, honey. I mean, heaven yeah. Exactly. Like, this is the thing. You don't have to worry about it if it's coming through you. I'm sure it's coming from divine source. I just mean, like, don't just consider, like, because this was the mistake that I made, everyone. I was like, oh, well, if it's light language, then it's good. Good. What does that even mean? If it's light language, then it's positive, or it's source, it's divine. And that's just not true. That's not true. And I really wish that it was all just beautiful and lovely, but it's not. Now, the other thing I think I saw somewhere written in the chats is like, do we all have a connection to light language, or can we all channel light language? Yes. Love, queens. Absolutely. Oh my God, Heather, thank you. Thank you. How you receive that? Oh, Dr. ZS, yeah. It's true, huh? And that's the same thing. They would try to, it's like a computer. Humans are more like computers than I realized, but yeah, we can get hacked. And yeah, other people might like plug in and try to sort of like plagiarize our vibration and be like, yes, look, I'm connected to the light as well. But yeah. But did you know who you were connecting to when that happened? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh my gosh, sparkling laughter, I love this. Something relevant to this discussion is perhaps that all things can serve us exactly as they are. So anything unwanted that crops up, use it, and it's no longer unwanted. It has served its purpose. That's so beautiful. And more as I go through life, the more I recognize that things are perfect as they are. And, you know, like, the more we can find a peace in the chaos of life, like, I think that's really what true kind of like happiness is, or whatever. Okay. I'm not sure what you mean, Thundercat, about did you know who you were connecting with when that happens? What does it mean when, oh, you said you were channeling light language from something that you felt were off. But who are you channeling at first? No. I wasn't channeling it. No, I wasn't channeling it. I heard someone else channeling it. And this has happened with 2 different people now, that I have heard them channel it, and I'm like, no. One was on YouTube, but I'm not going to obviously disclose, and one was in real life. Yeah. Not in contact with that person anymore. Woo-hoo! That is scary. It's just something to be aware of. I mean, I don't know. Oh my God, Kina, it's great to discover this Chanel. Honey! I love it when you call me Chanel. Stop it. Has false light been increasing this year from Laura? I don't know how to answer that objectively, because I think that I have become so aware of it this year that would be my own perceptional bias that it has. So for me, it has, yeah. Because I've been aware of it, but I think it's always kind of been there. But I mean, again, it's hard to sometimes check in with your own perception of things, but my perception of this year has been that people's awareness has increased, and so has their awareness of false light. Hint of sage. I wish someone would publish a light language vocabulary tape for me. Yeah, but that would like ruin all the fun of it, kind of thing. Because like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so much in light language that is like non-verbal. Do you know what I mean? Like it's energy, it's felt. It has to be experienced, not really understood. So what was this? Is astral projection dangerous? Most people say it is. Yeah, it's dangerous, but so is like friggin' existing in the world. Hey, kitty. Mira, bueno, eso, tenemos. Yeah, astral projection is dangerous, but it's like so is driving in a car. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Kitty's here, honey. So yes, it's dangerous, and it's definitely important to be like super aware that the astral plane, there are a lot of low astral beings that come up there and are like, hey, there's a lot of like deception and trickery and stuff. And, you know, but it's just like when you enter your dream space, you still have power, you still have control. And even like that, a lot of people were commenting, like when I made that video last, like a long time ago about psychic attacks in dreams, everyone was like, oh, I've had an experience where I've turned this psychic attack around, or I've like stood up to the person who was trying to attack me or whatever. And that's how we alchemize within the dream space. And we can do that in the astral realm as well. So yes, astral projection is dangerous, but so is driving in a car. And with that logic, then so is dreaming. Dreaming is dangerous too. So it's like kind of like just get rid of the fear about it, and you'll just see like, is it something you really want to explore or not? Because you'll know. Florentine, where I am, I don't see much evidence of people ascending. I have to believe it's happening. Suggestions. Do you feel like you are ascending? Because if you do, then there's your evidence. But if you don't, then that's probably why you're not seeing it around you. All right, well, I'm probably gonna head off pretty soon, you guys. Oh yeah, I did want to like maybe pull a few more affirmation cards. I mean, I was gonna do something about, is there something or one thing that you can share that impacted you the most? What, over my whole life, or what do you mean? Very general question. Yeah. The cat has joined the chat. She was briefly here, hey. I almost astral projected the first time I tried, but it felt really weird and it scared me. Yeah. Hello, among the stars. I'll get to your question as well, Guy Guinevere. But like, so I astral projected the first time, but it really felt really weird and scared me. Yeah, it'll feel weird. It'll feel super weird. It's literally like your energy leaves your body. And yeah, it's super weird. But a lot of like, I had this really like, well, I know a really special woman, and she was having all these amazing dreams. And she came to me for a session, and then we did some work together, and then she was asking me about astral projection, and I was like, wow, your soul is like really good at astral projecting. Like, you need to become conscious of this and participate, because your soul is like doing this regardless, and I think you would really enjoy it. So she started to, and she would, you know, start to astral project, I guess, and allow that feeling of the energy leaving the body, which again takes some time to get used to. It's pretty wild. It's a pretty wild feeling. But then she was just a natural at it, and I knew she would be. So sometimes we just have to get over the little threshold of fear. Oh, it's gone really dark in here. And then, you know, we can actually find out that it's really fun. Ooh. I have had some really interesting experiences astral projecting, like really interesting. Wow. Good night. Hint of sage. Good night. Oh yeah, so Guy Guinevere, do you have any advice for new channelers for light language? Enjoy yourself. Like, enjoy it. Maybe find as much space as you can to let it come through you. So like I found that just allowing it to spontaneously come through me throughout the day, I would find that it would spontaneously come through me if I was around babies, if I was around animals. Animals love light language. Like they love it. So yeah. Oh, will I give you a light language blessing? Yes. Also, if Soul Star Vision, if you're still here, then do you have any advice for people who are just starting to channel light language? I will definitely give you a light language blessing before I leave. See if Elle's still here or not. Any other things that I missed? Thundercat. Can't give away all my secrets now, can I? So I'm glad you stuck around, my love. And I'm really like, thank you for sharing. I know it's not easy sometimes to have things like processed publicly. I could make an instructional video on astral projection, yeah. But I think that the other thing to keep in mind is like, I think you do have to be kind of at a point where you're ready for it. And that's such a personal thing. Again, it can't really be instructed upon almost, you know what I mean? I've seen him when I was projecting after he was elected. I was a fan ever since. He has great energy. Ooh, that's interesting hint of sage. You took that from? Do I do any chakra balancing? I do. Thundercat. Yes. Yeah, no, I can't give you all of the things I've learned because like I can't give away all my secrets. Like I need to keep some. It's my heart. Cool. There you go. Hint of Sage has a link for people. Robert Monroe for astral projection, I'm assuming. Okay. So I don't think Elle is still in the chat. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a little light language blessing, okay? Okay. So if you don't want a light language blessing, then click off because you is about to get one. All right. Breathe in. Set whatever intention you would like to set for these light codes. Perhaps you would like to dissolve some illusions around what you are really capable of. Perhaps you would like to dissolve some illusions around the amount of love you have available to you in this and any moment. Perhaps you would like to set the intention to receive more love in this moment, to receive a strong feeling of clarity, of peace, whatever it is for you in this time. Tune in and set that intention now in your heart space. And thank yourself for this time that you're giving to yourself for your own well-being, in service of your own connection to your heart, to God. 喂，等一下，多一说啊，我好。哇！Tari cata tu 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 tari cata ku tu ta 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 tari cata hu tari ta 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 tu tari cata hu tu 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 tari cata hu tari tu 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 tari cata ka ta ta tu tari cata tu tu tari ta ta tu ke tu tari tu 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 tari apa ta 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 tu 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 tari ta 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 tari tu 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 tari cata tu tari satu tari ta 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 tu cara ta 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 tari cata ku tari ta 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 wah 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 ta wah 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 done. Cool. That was really powerful in the heart space, you guys. Wow, it's gone like entirely dark. What the hell? It's so weird because it's like not even that late yet, but it's gone completely dark. So yeah, that was really powerful in the heart space. You may feel like you need to open that more through like laughter or even crying, to be honest. But yeah, it was really powerful. Okay, so I wish everyone a really beautiful moment, continuing moment. And yeah, it was really nice to connect with everybody and send you so much love. Bye.